Namaste. I am Anjali Parmar studying at the Lok Bharati University for Rural Innovation in BA with English Literature in third year. So today I am going to discuss about one novel which is Tomb of Sand, which is originally written in Hindi by Gitanjali Shri and translated by Daisy Rockwell. So, a border increases recognition where two sides meet and both flourish. A border ornaments their meeting. Yes, we can find how actually these sentences are true in the novel Tomb of Sand, which is in Hindi originally name of Ret Samadhi. So first need to understand the meaning of the tomb. So the meaning of the tomb is the state of being in deep meditation. Gitanjali Shri is great woman writer in India and her novel got an International Booker Prize in 2022. Not for her, but actually all of Indians and who are connected with literature. This is a proud moment for every Indian. An American writer, Daisy Rockwell, who has translated this novel from Hindi to English translation, and she is an artist, writer as well as good in translation, and she has translated lots of novels originally in Hindi and Urdu in English translations. So, in this novel, the main protagonist is Ma, an 80 years old woman. Obviously, who will select to read this kind of novel, especially youngsters? Because the age 80, it sure seems like the age of ending of the life. So in that stage, nothing will happen good, nothing will happen new actually, right? But this assumption regarding this novel is actually wrong, because at that age, at that stage, only Ma's journey of living life, actual life, starts. This journey of Ma's had started after her husband's death. Ma's journey actually starts in the sense of expressing herself towards her family, society, relations, emotions, and especially towards reader's mind. In this story, there are several characters like Ma's daughter, her Betty, her son Bede, and Bede's wife, her Bahu, her grandson Sid, and there are other characters like their servants, and there is very important character of Rosie, here who is a transgender woman and Ma's best friend. Usually we have seen in the mostly families, like if any these kind of old persons in the family, so how family members will treat them, like especially Bahu. We have heard like Bahu will not behaving that much good with their Sasuma, their mother-in-law. So in this case, in this story, this Bahu is totally caring towards her mother-in-law. And if we talk about the son, like mostly after the marriage, son will be doing as their wives will say so, but in this case not like that. All the family members, like this couple and this Ma's daughter and her grandson, all are too much caring towards this Ma. In this story, it seems like Ma and her Betty has replaced their places together. Ma at that age started to behaving like a child. Betty also felt like when she was little, and she used to say no in everything, no, no, no. And sure, as same as her Ma is doing now. Betty really tried too much to make Ma very happy with enjoying life. And actually, Ma too wanted to fly in the sky. So basically, the story is kind of this 80 years old woman got depression after her husband's death, in between this partition and all, and her old village, her birthplace, and her whole childhood she left behind in the Pakistan, and now their family is living in the India. Just think, if from anybody someone is snatching their childhood, someone is snatching their homes, someone is snatching their families and all, and pushing throughout their place where they have lived from for so many long years together and all, how impact on that it will be. I mean, if for anything, if for any work, anyone is leaving their native place, so that's okay, because that is for something, getting something more, and that is for themselves only. They are doing like that. But if someone is doing forcefully these kind of things, then it will be never give any kind of happiness, literally. So something that kind of thing happened with Ma when she was young. The whole novel based on the thing how Ma depressed, and how she started to living again with full of joy. If we remember this transgender woman, like who was she? Like why she is the best friend of this Ma? So this whole story in this old in that, like when Ma is going in the Pakistan, and there only these all secrets are there. So in the climax only a reader can know that who is the transgender woman to this Ma. Even how was the love story of Ma is there. So that is all also mentioned in this novel. And the end, literally all were confused, like where Ma gone. Ma's family have too much love towards their Ma, and when in between Ma suddenly left the home, and all were feeling totally frustration and all for searching her. So that is showing that how important this member in that family actually. So, if we talk about the themes in this novel, so there are several themes of this novel, like partition and its legacy. This novel shows the partition 1947 was not just a historical event, but it continues to affect individuals, families, even generations later. The another theme of this novel we can say feminism and gender. Basically, this whole novel based on two main characters of this woman, Ma and her Betty. Particularly, these are playing main role in this story. But one another role of this transgender woman. One side, Betty is trying to connect her Ma to this modern era, and another side, this modern girl also thinking about discrimination with the transgender woman. That is illustrated in this novel, like at that era, even in this modern era too, how people dislike that transgender community. In this novel, the border plays as a crucial symbol. The novel questions both physical and metaphorical boundaries between countries, gender, and generations. At the climax of the story, where Ma and Betty were crossing the border of Pakistan from India to Pakistan, and that is symbolizing that that border is not just important in emotions, but there is actually crossing the border towards her past from the present. Ma used to sleep in the room all the day and sit near the wall itself. Maybe that sleepiness was not for physical, but she wanted to be motionless with her memories. And that wall, her desire to burrow through it, represent her will break free from grief and rediscover her identity. The tomb, the title itself signifies is a grave that is not permanent, suggesting that memories and life, like grains of sand, can shift and be remade. It also represents the impermanent nature of life and borders. Okay, so the primary setting of the novel is an urban Indian household. But the story also moves between different locations, both physical and physiological. In the novel, Ma's home is a central setting. Initially, it's a place of confinement and sorrow, where Ma isolates herself in the room. As the story progresses, it becomes a space of transformation and healing. In the sense of border, here the India Pakistan border and the journey to Pakistan are crucial settings of novel. The border represent not just a physical division but also the deep emotional wounds of the partition. Crossing the border symbolizes Ma's attempt to bridge the gap between her past and present. How the role of memories and imaginations are important in setting. The story frequently shifts to the landscape of Ma's memories. These memories, often triggered by smells, sounds, and objects, transport the reader to her childhood and the tragic events of the partition. This mental landscape is as important as the physical locations in the novel. Really, yes, the partition of 1947. Once at the beginning of the end in 1947, India was granted independence from the British rule, but it was not a single country that became free. From one home, the Hindustan, two brothers became separate, India and Pakistan. The idea was to create separate homeland for Muslim as proposed by All Indian Muslim League. But its division was not just about drawing lines on maps. The border, known as the Red Cliff Line, and it drawn in the Hari itself. It cut through villages, fields, and even homes, separating families and friends overnight. The announcement of partition sparked fear. Millions of people who had lived together for centuries as neighbors were now told they belonged to be a different country. Literally, this led to the largest mass migration in the human history. Men, women, children left everything they had, their homes, their land, their memories, to walk for miles and miles seeking safety in their new homeland. It was journey of unimaginable hardship, filled with violence, sorrow, loss, and heartbreak. The point of partition was not just physical, it tore apart a shared culture, a shared way of life. Even today, the families who survived this ordeal carry the emotional scars. Many of them still long for the homes they left behind and the communities that were shattered. The partitions reminds us that political decisions, no matter how logical they may seem on the paper, but have a profound impact on real people and their lives. It's true, and true. The stories passed down from that time are filled with tears, a feeling of being uprooted, and the trauma of losing loved ones. And obviously, yes, the story of the novel Tomb of Sand, the story of this old woman Chanda, make any reader emotional. Yes, Chanda, that old woman. At the climax of this story, readers can know the name of this woman. How she was seeking her childhood in the streets of Pakistan. There only readers can feel her mature, experienced woman level. Because before that, she was behaving like a totally childish itself. Okay, so let's come to the novel back. And if we come to the point of writer's style of writing, so Gitanjali Shree's writing style in Tomb of Sand is like a flowing river that changes its speed on and path. It's not a straight, easy to flow story. Instead, it moves in way that feels playful, poetic, and a little bit chaotic. The story does not move in a straight line, from beginning to end. The narrator might start talking about something else, or a character's memories will suddenly take over. It's like a conversation with someone who loves to tell stories and has a lot of interesting thoughts, even if they don't seem directly related to the main plot. Shri uses language in very creative and fun way. She enjoys wordplay, puns, and the sounds of words. It's almost like she is a musician and words are her instruments. The translation from Hindi to English also worked hard to keep these playful and rhythm quality. Next, if we see from the shifting perspectives, so the book doesn't stick with just one person's point of view. It jumps between different characters and sometimes even known characters too, like a group of crows or Dorget narrate a section. This allows the story to show many different sides of a situation, just like people in family all have their own version of the same event. The description in the book are often very beautiful and appeal to our senses. She paints a picture with words, describing to sounds, sights, and feelings of the world. It can feel like one is reading a long poem at one time. The novel is mixture of humor and serious topics. Shree's writing can be both very funny and very serious. She uses sarcasm and wit to talk about heavy subjects like the partition of India and family relationships. And this blend of humor and deep meaning makes the book feel very real and full of life. It shows that even in the most difficult moments, that there can be laughter and lightness. And the novel is also rich with metaphor, simile, and symbolism. For example, the Tomb of Sand itself, metaphor for the temporary nature of life and memories. And yes, I would like to present the references about this video. So it is from review of this book IBP 2022 number 13, and author reference is starring the plot, a weekend interview with author Gitanjali. Tomb of Sand is really unique story that takes one on a journey with an 80 years old woman named Ma. After her husband dies, she becomes deeply depressed, but the surprises everyone by deciding to go to Pakistan. The book is just not a simple trip, it's a look at her life, the trauma she experienced during the partition, and how she finds herself again. It's a powerful and often playful story about borders, not just between countries but also between people, gender, and different generations. The author Gitanjali Shri uses a fun and a creative writing style that makes the characters feel alive and the story feel fresh. It makes you think about history, family, and what it means to be free. Literally, Shri's writing style is so amazing because her writing style makes this book so special. She uses a stream of consciousness, meaning the narrator's thoughts just flow, jumping from one idea to next, and not in just straight only, but A to B full stories. So, overall, in this full novel, Ma's transformation by one step, she's getting herself again. So, now come to the point of conclusion. So, the novel Tomb of Sand doesn't have a simple and neat conclusion. Instead of tying everything up with a bow, the ending leaves things open, suggesting that life and stories are always in motion. The very last moments are very symbolic. Ma's story ends, but the narrator says that all story continue in some ways. This emphasizes the book's idea that borders are meaningless, whether they are between countries, gender, or even life and death. In short, the ending of the novel is not a tragic one, but it's a hopeful one. It's about a woman who was like tomb of sand, buried and forgotten, who rises up and finds herself. It's showing that it's never too late to live and be truly free. It's never too late to start a new chapter of life. And also the reminder that the story of 1947 is not just a part of history, but it is a lesson for our future. Let's try to build a world where a line on a map can never again divide hearts and homes. Thank you.